make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show, as we switch gears and talk about Conor McGregor. He got knocked the fuck out.
Damn, he did too.
99.
And I'll drop that motherfucker.
And how? Dustin Poirier. Hey. Knocked Conor McGregor out. And what's interesting is they stood and delivered in that first round. Conor McGregor hit Poirier with everything he had and couldn't knock him down.
Right.
So Dustin just stood up and started kicking good old Conor right in the leg to the point where he fractured his leg and knocked him out. And then the stories came out that Conor McGregor completely changed the staff around him for this fight, did not spar but half as much as he usually did, and was distracted trying to put together a fight between he and Manny Pacquiao in a boxing match.
Which isn't going to happen now.
Right. And Conor had admitted he had a contract waiting to be signed between he and Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And now with the broken leg, and I think Conor realizes that the UFC is not a part-time job.
Nope.
And I wonder if he goes back to Kavanaugh full-time and he brings back what got him to where he was. But part of me also wonders if Conor McGregor's missed the window.
To me, first of all, the thing to be understood about Conor is he is one of the greatest athletes the UFC has ever seen. So when he applies himself and he has a great camp and he is with the right people and he's not distracted and he's just focused on the fight, that's where the dominance comes in, because he focuses on the details and all those things. So I don't personally believe he's missed the window yet. I do believe that time is coming. I don't think he's got all day to just wait around and wait another 18 months to fight. You're not getting any younger. But what I will say is that I think if he can fight 2 more times this year and he can be in that camp with those guys you were just talking about, I think he can get back to the form he was. Now, I don't think that Conor McGregor is going to get back to being a world champion. I just struggle with that idea. Mainly because he likes boxing. He likes making money. He wants to take the Mayweather route. He wants to simply put fights together, make a bunch of money, and go back home to the wife and kids. That's what he wants to do. And you can't do that in the UFC. The guys in the UFC are not the guys in boxing.
Why do you say you can't do that in the UFC? Because I think that's exactly what he's done in the UFC.
No, he tried to do that this time, and it didn't work out for him, obviously.
Clearly.
In the UFC, you can't do it because guys like Dustin Poirier or any of these other guys, there's always another guy who's motivated to kick your ass. There's always somebody who is like, yep, I want the McGregor fight. I want to beat Conor McGregor, So in MMA, it's not just walk around a square ring and punch each other. There's a lot more to MMA fighting, like leg kicks, like ground games. So it's just way deeper from that standpoint. That's why I think it's more difficult to take 18 months off, get out of shape, by UFC standards, and then try to get back into shape and get ready to fight. I mean, that's almost impossible to do.
I think Conor McGregor really damaged his brand here. I think he showed up ill-prepared for this fight. I think he didn't take this fight seriously. Mm-hmm. I think there are a lot of people who believe that Conor McGregor is past his prime now. And I think if you're Conor McGregor, you got to try and put the team back together, and you have to fight for your legacy.
Yeah.
And I think you have to show up here, and you have to knock some fools out. And I think you probably need a fight or two, and then you will likely get another title shot.
Agreed.
Is that against Khabib? Probably not.
No.
I think those days are over. I don't think there are any. And listen, I know that the UFC is something of a fanatical fan base. I don't know how many people are willing to pay for Conor Khabib when it's $70 and Conor is not who he used to be.
Well, and that's the thing. You're totally right as far as his brand is concerned. So now, because he lost this fight and he has the leg injury, he's not going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Ryan Garcia. Which I think will be entertaining, but that's a huge lost opportunity for Conor.
Ryan Garcia is going to blow Manny Pacquiao up.
I'm sure he will.
I believe that there's a real good chance that Manny Pacquiao doesn't have brain function after that fight. Like, and
Yeah.
I worry about Manny Pacquiao. I really do. I mean, I just I don't know, man. I think that the UFC is a special beast.
Mm-hmm.
It is why Brock Lesnar was never able to make the transition to be, this magnificent heavyweight champion, because it's not just show up and bludgeon people.
It's not fake. It's real.
Yeah, there's a game. There is a skill. There is the UFC is wildly underrated when it comes to the skill needed to excel in mixed martial arts. And I'll be interested to see exactly how all of this plays out. And I'll be interested to see exactly where Conor McGregor goes from here.
Yeah.
Because frankly, I don't know the answer to that question. Because also, I'm not willing to shill for him anymore. I'm not willing to pay for Conor McGregor anymore.
Oh, did you pay for this fight?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not willing to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of scratch, man.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, while we're talking about this, ESPN had their worst pay-per-view event of their history. They had so many technical issues because so many people paid for this fight on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said for the drawing power, but I think this loss really hurts Conor McGregor. This is a make-or-break moment.
Yes.
For him.
It is.
He either takes it seriously and gets back to being the best fighter in the world, or he is going to do the Chuck Liddell precipitous backslide.
Flame out.
Where you're done, and all of a sudden you have nothing, and because I fear for Conor McGregor, once he's done fighting, what does he really have?
Well, he's got the whiskey brand, and I think he's got a lot of relationships too. So I think you'll see he will create more things. But he's got a lot of money, dude.
He may have a lot of money, but he's also got a lot of legal problems because he's a guy that pops off and punches people, and he needs to fight. He needs the stage because he does not do well being anonymous.
Right.
He doesn't. And it'll be interesting to see what happens to him if his career is truly over. And I'm not saying it is, but there's a lot of people who think he may be on the backside.
Well,
what do you do?
Well, there's no doubt he's on the backside of his career. To me, that's not.
Does he ever hold a belt again?
I think I don't think he ever holds one. I do think he'll fight for one. I think he'll fight 2 more times this year. I think he'll win both of those fights, and then next year in the first quarter of next year he'll fight for a title. I don't know what weight division he'll go with. I don't know, what
he's
that
a light
looks like.
heavyweight. Period.
He is. That's
a light heavyweight.
the weight he should be fighting at.
Yeah.
But we've seen him do a lot of different things. So I think at the end of the day, he needs to get healthy first, and then he needs to make a decision. Plain and simple. Are you gonna continue this, and are you gonna take it seriously, or do you just want to box and make your money that way? So that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see for sure. I think there's so much around the idea, and there are so many people who are just curious about what he'll do.
I will say, Conor McGregor is one of the most relatable UFC fighters there have been in quite some time, man. The UFC. There was a time there where the UFC didn't really have a guy like a name, like somebody who were like, yeah, it's Conor, man. We got to watch that fight. They didn't have that before Conor for quite some time. So I don't know who that next name is after Conor.
Well, the next thing you should do after Conor is hit the subscribe button on YouTube. The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show on YouTube. You guys have been steadily subscribing to the show. We appreciate that. Our numbers on YouTube are growing steadily. We really now are focused on getting to 1,000 subscribers, which is a tall mountain to climb when you're only at about 100. So every one of you that subscribes makes a huge difference for us on the channel. We really appreciate that. Search The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show.